Hi guys. We're gonna wait for a few people before we start this live. Mm, I've had a very long day. I think it should be illegal to leave the house at like 7 a.m. and come back at 10, 10 for 11. I think it should be absolutely illegal. By the way, that was me showing off that I finally managed to do my nails. Aren't they long? They're quite long. They weren't supposed to be this long, but I shouldn't say they weren't supposed to because this is the size I chose. You know when you choose a size and the lady asks you, "Are you sure?" Then she does it and you're like, "Actually, that's not what I wanted." And she actually said that she tried to file them down and make them shorter. But it is what it is. I think she said because she used polygel that they will not break, which I'm really hoping that they don't. Anyway, hi guys, my name is Dipuka Moleboge, known on this platform as Barbs because Barbara is my first name. However, I prefer Dipuka because Dipuka is a beautiful name. I used to say sometimes when I meet people and they're like, "What's your name?" and then I say Dipuka, they're like, "Oh wow," and I'm like, "Yes, it's a beautiful name for a beautiful girl." Now you know the humility that comes with being born again. I don't want to say things like that. I used to say a lot of things like that when I was still in the club scene. But yeah, um, how humbling life can be, how quick life can change, how fast life can change. I think I was thinking about it earlier. Um, how disinterested I am in like going out and going to the club and drinking alcohol. It's just one of those things that I really am not interested in anymore. Like, and it's difficult to talk about these things because sometimes people feel like you're judging them. But um, I love the fact that my church has a service on Friday because I get to go to church on Friday. A lot of people who are in who are in church this evening, not a lot, but some people go to church on Fridays because they know that if they stay home, they'll end up in the club. So sometimes there's a certain discipline. I was telling somebody earlier, we're talking about Connect on Wednesday. We're recapping Connect on Tuesday, and this person was asking me, why is it that you were quiet during Connect? And I was telling him that I was quiet because sometimes it's not about showing up and sharing or showing up um, uh, uh, and always receiving a profound message or showing up and always feeling like every single time you come to church it needs to be exciting or every time you come to connect it needs to be exciting. It needs to be exciting. Sometimes it's just about showing up. It's just about that discipline of coming regularly and just building that muscle of consistency. Um, in my Bible has these nice little tidbits, and there's one on one of the pages that says, "Is it okay to feel like church is boring sometimes?" And it basically said yes. It's normal to feel like church is boring sometimes, but it's important to still go. You can't just my mom and I used to have this bad habit. I mean, my mom has this bad habit. I ended up learning it from her, where if a certain pastor was preaching, maybe even youth was preaching, she wouldn't go because she was like, I don't want to be bored. And then I ended up developing it. Whenever a certain pastor would preach, maybe a guest pastor, I wouldn't end up going because I'd be like, yeah, I prefer my pastor. But with this new church that I go to away from my family church, I have ensured that I develop that consistency and I maintain that consistency because it's important. If you can't be consistent with God, then hey, I don't know, man. And the thing that sort of guilts me. I want to be honest and use the word guilt. The thing that guilts me even more is the fact that there are things that bore me sometimes that I'm consistent in. So it's like, why is it that things of Christ you can't give the same energy So whenever it is that I have one of those negotiating things, I ask myself that question. God, why is it that things of the Lord or things of Christ, you can't give it the same energy of you being bored on a Saturday and you're doom scrolling and you're absorbing all of this information that you don't need to be observing. But when somebody's like, yo, let's go to church on Sunday, you have just such a weird attitude about it. You're like, oh my goodness, um, this so and so pastor is preaching and I'm not interested. You know what I'm saying? And I'm actually talking to myself right now because I'd decided that I may not go to church this Sunday because apparently it's gonna rain heavily and I'm so exhausted. I'm so exhausted. I feel like but every single day I've been going out of the house, going up and down out of the house, and I'm just like, I need just one day where I'm inside the house from morning until night. My car needs one day where it's not being started. So God will give me the strength to be able to go to church on Sunday, hopefully. But if He doesn't, then I will, and my body doesn't allow, then that's okay as well. But anyway, I shared something interesting yesterday on my WhatsApp status. I was talking about how isn't it interesting how you can choose to do something because the Lord speaks to you, um, because the Lord speaks to you, and because that thing is the best for your health, but that thing ends up hurting other people. It's I think it's the craziest thing. I think it's very interesting because one of my favorite gospel singers, she was supposed to come to Botswana in end of November. Matema, I don't know if you guys know her. She was supposed to come to Botswana in November, and she ended up canceling her concert. I only saw the communication last week, and I've been so heartbroken since. I think heartbroken is the best way to put it. But I can only be feeling and I have beef with her because what do you mean you're not coming? You know how long I've been holding on. You know how long I've been holding on for this concert. You know how long I've been looking forward to this concert. What do you mean you're not coming? Hi. Yes, Dipuka in Botswana, so hurt, having beef with Matema over a decision that she took for her health. And because God spoke to her. It's interesting. It's one of those things that I thought to share because if you are going through something in your life and you know it's gonna hurt some people, even if it's people you don't know, you're just like, I can't make this decision, but it's the decision that's best for your health, and also you really feel like God has been pushing you to make this decision. Um, I think you just have to reckon with the fact that there'll be some Dipukas in Botswana that'll be hurt and heartbroken. But what's ultimately important is your health and your health and rest. So yeah, that's it for this today's video. Like I said, I didn't put a title on it because I just wanted to switch on the camera and talk. Today is one of those days where the week is coming to an end and we're just so exhausted. I'm pretty sure I'll have more energy and more direction tomorrow. I have to go to sleep soon because I want to wake up early so I can prepare more for my radio show tomorrow. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, guys. Thank you so much for the consistency that I spoke of at the beginning of this video. That you're carrying it and you're still with me even when I'm not on my best day. Um, Remember, I'm gonna throw back at you what I said yesterday. That if it's not good, then it's not the end. Thank you for watching and good night.